how they are controlled actually. That means dynamically controlling the elements. So we have learned how to read for that all the methods. So how do we add and remove? Array have some more options like sorting and reverse, that is for arranging information in order. So array have methods like sort and reverse. For example, if I want to display some values here, so where values is an array, in that we have some values. So we have some values, some string number. Now document dot write, so values dot to string, just I am printing those values. And you can see it is going to read and print the values in the same way how they are defined. So it will display in the same way how they are defined. So B, D, A, C. Now I want in order. Then before printing, we have to just use values dot sort. Sort will arrange in order. So A, B, C, D. It will arrange in order. Number or string. And another point, generally, if I give reverse is not descending order. It is not descending order. Reverse is the reverse order of how it is present, how it is actually present. That means from right side, it will read the values. That means it will print C, A, D, B. That is the reverse order actually, C, A, D, B, not descending order. To display in descending order, we can write like this: values dot sort first. After sorting, we can use reverse. Then it will display in descending order, D, C, B, A. So that is arranging the array elements in order. We can manage that by using sort and reverse. So we have learned all the methods. So like what is sort, what is reverse, how we can add, how we can remove. So how we can find, how we can filter, difference between find and filter, all these important methods. Now, dynamically, we have to use them according to the situation and the requirement. We have to dynamically use them. We will see dynamically how we can use this, how we can configure this. So one simple example dynamically how to control this. Array elements, adding, removing, and all this. So let's see one example for that, so that we can later implement in various examples also. Head, title, and I say array manipulations. Okay, and let me link relation is equal to style sheet, and href some bootstrap we will include. So bootstrap dist css, bootstrap css, and in the body section, so let's take container fluid. Okay, and we will create here class, some margin top 3. Okay, 4. Here we are displaying some content. Suppose here I am adding a simple div. So let's create a field set and legend. So here I given as cities. So select your city. So that is the option I defined, select your city. And in that, so we kept a simple select class as form select, and we will keep this ID LST cities. Okay, and we keep that size 3. Now you can see, so this is the design. Select your city. Okay, now here I given this with width 25. That's fine. Okay, here I want to display some list of cities, and on body load we need to display that. So first I am writing a script. We will have a collection cities. So cities is an array. So we have cities defined here: Delhi, Hyderabad, some Chennai, like this. Yeah. So this is city. I want to add these cities into the list. So I will give a function here, load cities. Load cities, in that we will access LST cities, document element by ID, get element by ID, LST cities. That is the drop down. We are accessing the drop down. That is the list box. And we are writing a for where item of cities. And for where item of cities, we have to create an option where option document dot create element. So option element. Okay. Now into that option dot text, option dot text item, option dot value also item. Now we need to add this option into LST cities. LST cities dot append child. Append child, that option must be added. That's it. Now this load cities, one more work it has to do. If already any cities are there, it should clean up them and load them. Because load cities, we will access so many times. When we access so many times, then every time we don't want the cities to be added to the existing list. Every time we want a new list. So that point I will show you. First, we will write another function, body load. So this is body load. So on body load, we will call load cities. So body load will fire up on load. On load, body load, we are accessing this load cities, and it is loading the cities. That's fine. So if any new city is there in that list, so new city there in the list, it will add that into it. This is the list of cities. This is we are selecting. This is for list. Now we must able to add a new item into the list. Add a new item into the list. So here I'm giving the legend as, so manage cities. Okay. Now here I need to add or remove the cities I want to add. Then above this, I will create a div. So we are adding a div. And in this div, we will write a class as input group. And here we defined a text. Input type is equal to text. So type is equal to text. Class is equal to form control and ID as txt name. Beside it, we will keep a button and the class is equal to btn and btn primary. And I will just give add city. Okay. That is the option we are having here. And let's keep this class some margin top 3. It will be little bit down. Okay. Now I enter the city name and click add city. That must be added into that list, into this list. So how we can add items into array? To add items into array, already we learned we can use the methods push or unshift. So or splice. Push will add as last item. Unshift will add as first item. And splice will add at any specific location. So that's your wish. You can add at any specific location. So how we can add them? So first point is whatever the value collected from this text box, it must be added into array on this button click. So on click is here we will write add click is the function. Okay, let's write the function add click. On add click, first city name, we need to get the city name. So document get element by ID txt name. We need to get the city name. This is text box, only text box I'm accessing, not its value. That means this city name is just a text box. So actually txt name I will give as, yeah, that is a text box only. Why we are accessing only text box, not its value? I will tell you. Because I want to use this text box so many times. So then I can't write this again, this line. So better use the text box here. It is referring to only text box. Now through this txt name, you can access value, IDs and all of them. So we are accessing the text box. Okay. Next, what we have to do is we have to add the text box value into the array. What is the array name? Array name is cities. So cities dot push, we have to use push. Txt name dot value. Why? Because txt name is a text box and into that value you have to collect the value and use it. Okay. After that, I will put an alert. Alert city added to list. Okay. After that, we need to load the cities and see. So means after adding a city, we need to load the cities again. Then we have to call the method load cities. Load cities function must be called again. But see now what happens here is I entered the city name. Already few cities I entered the city name and Goa and just add city and it says city added. Okay. You can see this list is going to repeat again repeated. Goa is added, but Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai already is there. It is repeating again. It should not repeat, only the new item must be added. So in the load cities, before adding the cities into LST cities, LST cities dot inner HTML is equal to empty. That will delete and clean up the cities already if there. Inner HTML empty, it will delete all the cities if already there and add the new list again. One more option is after adding txt name dot value is equal to empty. That means text box value must be cleaned up. It must be empty. Now it looks better. You see now I am adding just like, so these are there. I am adding Goa, add city, city added to list. Okay. And only that new city added. And after adding, this is cleaned up from the text box. So I added another city, add city, and okay, the city added. And you see the new city is added into the list. So we can dynamically add items into array. For that, we need this manipulation. So how we can add the items into the list, how we can configure that is array manipulation. Now, similarly, we must able to remove the city. In the cities, removing the cities, dynamically adding elements, removing elements, we need to remove. That means, so we have to remove the selected city from list. So what we have to do is just below this, I will add another div. So class some margin top 3. And here I will keep a button. So remove city. So here I will keep dgrid, display grid. Okay, and class is btn and btn danger. And I want this remove city to remove the selected city. So how we can manage that? So first on remove click. So on click is remove click. So on remove click, first we have to get selected city name. Remove click. On remove click, the function remove click, we have to get the selected city name. How to get the selected city name? Where selected city is equal to document get element by lst cities dot value. lst cities dot value, it will get the selected city. Selected city index, get the selected city index in order to remove it. We are accessing the selected city. We need to find its index number. So that means what we have to do is, so where selected index, index of selected city. That's it. It will get the index number of selected city. After getting the index number of selected city, we have to remove it. First, we have to get the selected city. Then we have to get the index of selected city. From the array, in the array at which index it is present, we need to get it. And we have to remove it. Then how do we remove? To remove, we have the options like pop. Pop will remove the last item. Shift will remove the first. So here what we can do, we can simply define. So where, so here just we have to remove. Then first we will take a confirmation. So status is equal to, I will use confirm. Already we know confirm box. So are you sure want to delete this message we give? Are you sure you want to delete? That's the option we are configuring. So here, generally, when we have to handle this, you know that confirm box will return boolean true or false. If status is equal to true, that means delete. Then we have to remove cities dot splice. Splice from which index number? Starting index number. Starting index number is selected index. Selected index. How many you want to remove from there? 1. That's it. So from the selected index, remove that one item. Okay. Otherwise, don't do anything. That means no else. So it is just removing that and configuring. So this is removing the elements and defining the elements. So now it's ready. We have to test this and see whether the item is removed or not. So you can see here I'm adding a new city, some city, add, and city is added. But after removing, you need to refresh this list again. So what you have to do is after removing, means this remove completed, then load cities again. Load cities again. That's very important. So now I added here like some Goa. Okay, add city, city added. We have these cities. I don't want this Mumbai. I selected that and click on remove city. We can even display the city name. Are you sure you want to remove that city name? Also we can display that. I say cancel, it's not removed. So see, I can use that city name also. That means here in the alert, are you sure want to delete, and here I will put a binding expression and here I will put dollar. So selected city, selected city, selected city. That means the city name will come. And you can see I selected this Chennai and say remove city. And it says, are you sure you want to delete Chennai? We can display that name. And I say, okay, then it is on confirmation, okay, then it is deleted. It's no longer there. I want to delete this Delhi. Select that and remove city. And are you sure you want to delete? Cancel, it's not deleting. So, okay, then it is deleted. I can add again some Delhi, add city. Okay, that is added into this. So we can add items, we can remove items. And we can also sort items dynamically. We can also sort the items dynamically. Just we can put a sort button to sort items dynamically. And sorting we already know. We have to just use sort and load that elements. That means first what we have to do here is, suppose I'm giving a simple button for sorting. So just I will add a button here. So button sort, that's the button added there. And just I will give the class BTN and BTN primary. Okay. And I want this to sort the list. Sort the list. Of course, you can use different symbols. We have bootstrap icons. Link relation is equal to style sheet. Href is equal to node modules. Bootstrap icons. So in that font bootstrap icons.css. And here we can put the icon for the sort. Instead of giving the text here, we can put the sort. So suppose I given as span, and we are using the class here and configuring it. Already we learned how to add more than 2 values, 3 values. Push is not only one value. Removing new values, already we discussed that. Push means you can add 1 item, 2 item, multiple items. Already we discussed that. Already we learned that adding 2 items, 3 items for any number of items, same push and options are used. If you have forgot that, uh, right. So any number of items you can add or remove. So already we discussed that. So here how we can sort this. Let's put a span here, class bi, suppose down, menu down, arrow down, arrow down. Okay, we will use that arrow down. So arrow down is that. Okay, so that is the arrow down we are having. That is the sort option we are having. So we need to just keep that arrow down and say sort. So just use that sort. Okay. So that is the option configured. So this is the option configured and margin bottom 2. Okay. Now when I click on this sort button, I need to display this in order. So these items must be displayed in order. Then it's very simple. Just on the button click. So on click, sort click. So that is the option we have to define. And we write a function. So sort click. On sort click, first we have to get the cities dot sort. After that, load cities again. Sort and load cities again. That's it. So that means, so suppose I'm adding a different order is that I'm adding some Bangalore. Okay, add city. Okay, that's added. It's down. I click on this sort. So then Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, it will be in order. It will be in order. You can keep another button and you can see reverse. So you can arrange ascending order. You can arrange in reverse order. You have to just use the option. So we can sort ascending, sort descending. So that is just displaying in order. And how to sort descending, I already showed you. You put another button and you sort and reverse and load the cities. That will be in descending order, arranging the data. This is dynamically manipulating arrays. How we can dynamically manipulate. So this is one example for array manipulation. So this is an example for array manipulations. So, and for array manipulation, this is the example. That's the sample code. Okay, this is all the example. We will use in various occasions now. Already we learned in the last session how to dynamically generate list drop downs and all for the items that we are having. Now, next important. So we have learned arrays with normal data, just normal data is there. Now, after understanding this, so we have to know about another important data type, that is object type. object type. So technically, what is an object type and how to deal with the object type and how we can work with array of objects. That's the point. So this is, we learned how to define an array. Now how we can define an object and how we can use array of objects. So this kind of data is very commonly used in real world development process. So we need to understand how we can define the arrays of array of objects, how to work with them. So usually how we can configure the array and define the arrays. So first arrays we have got it. Now we will see object, then we will see combination of both. Generally object intention is simple. So what is the purpose of object is here. In programming, generally, suppose we have this function f1 and here we are calling it, and here we have var name. Name is equal to some Nike casuals, okay, and var price is equal to some price. Now here we have two details, the name and price. But actually, the point you need to understand here is they are not related to each other. So that means the name and the price are two different variables. That means if anyone asks like, what is the name of, what is the price of Nike casuals? So you cannot say that 5,600, this is the price, because it's not related. So it can be for anyone. Suppose here we have some shoe, and here we have shirt. So that is shirt, something like this. That means now this price may be for anyone. There is no relation. So this is the problem with the data. To overcome this problem, actually in the early 1960s, 1960s, Alan Kay, he introduced the concept of working. He introduced the concept of object, and later two people, Johann Ole and Christian Nygaard, these two people took forward this object concept, and those two people introduced a concept called object oriented programming. So many people think that object is a concept of object oriented programming, but object is there before object oriented programming. So object is a general programming concept, and it is there before OOP concepts came. So object intention is, the main intention of object is, so introduced object to keep all related data and logic together. All related data and logic you can keep together. So data is defined in properties, and logic is defined in functions, So data is defined in properties, logic is defined in functions. So that is object type actually. And we professionally call this is called as, so JSON type. It is called as JSON, JavaScript object notation. JavaScript object notation. It is used to represent, JSON is to represent related type of data and logic. So that is the intention of object actually. And how to define object? Simple. So now, right. So where to is all its information is kept in a curly brace. This is object. That means this object contains all the related data. In that, name is a property, and colon, into that property colon, we have to put value. And in a property, you can put any value. So in a property, you can put any value. You can put any value. That means you can put a string, you can put a number, boolean, array, anything can be there inside that property. It's just like a variable. You can have primitive type, non-primitive type. So in the name, I defined some Nike casuals. Okay, it's a string, comma. Multiple properties are separated with comma. All the members in an object are separated with comma. Price, so that is price. This is related to shoe now. Now another some stock, so true. You can have a string type, number type, boolean type, and suppose I say ship is an array. It is an array. So we have Delhi, have Hyderabad, like this. That means object can contain any kind of property, and quantity, some quantity, some two. So you can have any kind of data, and it is to keep all related data together. All the related data together, not only data, the logic also. For example, I want total. Total is a function, is a function. What this total function have to do? It should return quantity into price. So now I need to access the members of an object inside the object. The members of an object are accessible inside that same object. So that means when you define an object, it contains members. It contains a property. So we have an object related property. If you want to access these properties inside the object itself again, then we have to access by using this keyword. This refers to current object. Current object memory. This refers to the current object memory. And this dot property we can access. Suppose if I want to access outside the object, then object name dot property. Like this we need to access. So now I want to return, here I want to return quantity into price. This dot quantity into this dot price. We need to configure that. So that is the total we are configuring. Okay, now similarly, another option, so print. Print is again a function. And what the print function have to do is print all these details. It should print all these details. Then just I'm writing document.write. And here name is equal to dollar. This dot name. In the next line, we need to access the price, this dot price. So here we are defining price is equal to dollar, this dot price. And here we have stock, and just roughly this dot stock is equal to this dot stock. That is a true. We can put a condition there. That means if this dot stock is true, display one value. If this dot stock, I will put here if it is equal to true. So then question mark available, and otherwise out of stock. Like this, we are using a ternary operator for that. So this is displaying the values. So out of stock and configuring this. Now, generally, that is defining the values and configuring the values. So now here, another option, shipped to. So I will keep in the next line break and shipped to. Shipped to is equal to, we need to get the value from an array. That means this dot shipped to dot to string, because it's an array. You learned already to string join, you can use any. Next one. So total is equal to dollar. We have to access this dot total. Total is a method you have to access in this. Now it is accessing the total method and displaying. Okay. Now print contains all the information. Now your object is ready. The shoe object is ready. And if I want to print the details, then we need to just access shoe dot print, and you can see it is going to print all these details. Access and print all the details. But the main intention of creating object is not just keeping all the data together, but also enabling reusability. It is also enabling reusability. That means we can reuse it with different types of data and improve the functionality. That means I can make this not like a shoe, just I can make it as a product. Product is an object, and the name is empty quotes. That means it is a string. Price is 0. That means it is a number, and this is false. That is Boolean. Shipped to is empty. That is an array, and quantity is 0. And rest of options are same. Now, what is the intention of keeping them empty? So that I can reuse this now. That means now what we have to do is we can use this object for different purpose. We can use for different products now. For example, I will declare. So I will declare here. So TV. Now I need to access all the details and display the details. So that means it's very simple now. So how we can configure that? So suppose I want TV details to print, then I can reuse it. Temporarily here, how to reuse? First access a document dot write. I will say, I will define here TV details. TV details. I will keep in a heading. In a heading, I am printing TV details. And under that, I want to print the details of TV. So already we have data. So product dot name is equal to Samsung TV. And the product dot price is equal to some price. We are storing the data into it. So product dot stock is equal to true because it's a Boolean. And product dot shipped to, it's an array. Into that we say Delhi and Hyderabad like this. Okay, and product dot quantity is equal to 2. Then product dot print. So product dot quantity. Okay. Product dot quantity, and simply product dot print. That's the print. Total automatically it will calculate, because in total is already having a functionality which we are calling here. That means while printing, it will calculate the total and print it. This is TV details. And I will create another document dot write, another heading. And inside this, I will say shoe details, shoe details. And here I am using again product dot name is equal to. We can take these values from a dynamic value. So we can take the dynamic value, and we can configure from the dynamic value. Many people, please your videos. A lot of disturbance. People are complaining on that. Please turn off your videos if you have on any videos. Turn off your videos. Disturbing is right. Yeah. Now this is so from prompt. So enter name. We can access that, and product dot price is equal to prompt here and shoe price. Like this, we are accessing the details. The second details we are accessing from the prompt. So, and the stock, ship to, these also you can access. So suppose product dot stock, or you can just put true or false. And product dot ship to, we can put a text box, get the value from the text box, and we can send it. Ship to is an array. Into the array, we need to add the items. We need to add the items. So there are so many techniques. So I did some can I like this. So dynamically we can do. Dynamically I will show you. In so many options are there. Product dot quantity. Quantity I'm using prompt enter quantity. And after that product dot print. That means we are having the data. This is simply I'm showing a program. We will implement in so many examples now. Now when I access this here, it is shoe name Nike Casuals. Enter shoe price, some 6,000. Okay, quantity 3. Okay, those details are printed here. So are printed here. So I think we haven't ended this. So let's end here heading 2. So it is going to print all the details and display the details. Shoe name, some Lee boot, Lee Cooper boot. Shoe price 5,000 and quantity 3, and it will display the details. Similarly, we can access the details of TV, and we access and use details and define them. This is basically object. Now we can combination of array and objects. Object type of data and logic contains the related data. All the related data and logic kept in an object. The main intention of the object is to reuse it. With the different types of data, we can reuse it. So that means now this is used for TV, this is used for shoe, for all these details, reusability concerns. Code is encapsulated into a block, so we can use that. That is generally the mechanism of working with an object. How do we define an object and how we can configure the object? So object, now we can use combination with array. Array and object combination. That means now when you are creating an array, so we have products, it's an array. Into this array, now we can have objects, array of objects. This is how the real world data is stored. This is how the real world data is stored. Any data coming from any database is sent to client side technologies in the form of object only, JSON object. You can see any data. Later in jQuery and all, we will learn. For example, suppose we have NASA. Suppose we have NASA. NASA have some data like Mars rover related photos and all data is present. They provide their data to the public so that we can use that in our websites and show that information and see how they provide the data to us. So I go here and I will go to NASA API. So this is api.nasa.gov. This is NASA API. And in this NASA, so we have to look for the APIs. So let's see the API here. Yeah, these are the open APIs. Actually, the purpose of this API is providing the data to the users so that users can access and use the data and work with the data. That means we are accessing the API data. So it's unable to reach it. It took long to respond. Okay. Okay, sometimes because this is API data, it is taking some time to respond. Let's see another. Suppose we have a fake store API. This is some fake store API. This is a, these are the people who are providing data for a shopping websites. So when you go to this fake store API, you see they provide some data to us. And see, click on products and you see they provide the products data. You see this is the data. And you can observe that the data provided by them. So this, we will learn how to work with this kind of data. We will discuss how to work with this type of data. Now, generally, you can observe that. So clearly here you can see. So this is an array. You can see that is an array. And array of objects, you can observe that this is array. And this is the array. That is an array of objects now. So this is the first object we have in that. So, and this is the first object, and see the first object ends here. Object ends here. And this is the second object, ID2. And the second object ends here. And we have third object, ID3. So it's an array of objects. Data is provided and every object contains ID, title, so and price and description, that information. So, and you see this is the data. So, and we have this NASA also. This is NASA official website actually. In the NASA official website, so this is NASA APIs. These people also will provide, so APIs, these people also will provide API. You see, APIs. What are APIs? You are going to learn browse APIs. You see, they provide data about various topics. Suppose they have Mars rover photos, and I selected to watch the data coming from their location. And you see, when I select it, it is an object. Everything will be in a JSON form, JavaScript object notation. So as a developer, we need to understand how to design such data. That's you are going to learn in server-side technologies. You will learn how to store data in database, send data in this format. So as a front-end developer, we need to understand how to work with this data. That means 100 to 100% you need to be very perfect working with arrays in JavaScript at any level. So you may be learning any technology in the background, Java, .NET, PHP, Python, any technology in the background. So in the foreground, you have to know how to deal with JavaScript objects and JavaScript arrays. Very important, because finally the data comes to us for presentation in the form of JSON, and we need to use this. So that is the reason this is mandatory for a web developer to know how to handle array of objects and present array of objects. Now we will see how we can handle this kind of data. We can directly use this data also now. I will show you the process, how we can manage and how we can work with the data.